What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today, the Super Bowl has officially been canceled. I was firing up my 2K5 and the file is damaged for Bengals, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I'm unable to load it, unable to play it. So let me know in the comment section what franchise you want me to do, what Madden. It could be a Madden on the 360. It could be not 06, 07, or 08 on the 360, 09 to 12, maybe 09 to 13, depending on what you guys want to see. But PS2, we got, I'm going to do 03 all the way up to 11. I do not have 10 or 9. I do not have 12 for the PS2. I probably will get those things at some point. We'll see what happens there. So let me know what you guys want to see down in the comment section below, because the rest of this video is just going to let you know why I'm not going to fire up another 2K5 franchise. I feel like 2K5 is the best NFL game that we have ever had in terms of gameplay. In terms of franchise mode, they're just a gang of bugs. And the bugs, to me, do not make the game unplayable, but it does make the game a head scratcher that could be so great in some areas and then just so darn right awful in other areas. When it came down to our playoff run this year, when I looked at the overall ratings, they were down for my squad. What happened was that Carson Palmer was on the bench. So before every single game, I had to put Carson Palmer back into the starting lineup, which isn't the biggest deal in the world, but it is a big deal. Earlier in one of our games, Shafano, he caught a pass in place of Peter Wark because Peter Wark was back and healthy, but I need to put him back in like the starting lineup again. And it's like, okay, again, not the biggest deal in the world because I can manually fix that. It's a head scratcher, it's time consuming, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. When it comes to other teams, though, because I was recently scrolling the comment section, somebody said that Tom Brady wasn't playing in their playoff game, and they were going up against Tom Brady. And I think you want to go up against Tom Brady if he's healthy, and he was healthy, but he just didn't play. And that reminded me of the Bears franchise that we did when Michael Vick just randomly didn't show up. Maybe he got arrested for dogfighting. I don't know. All I do know is that he wasn't there for the game, and there was nothing that the computer was going to do to put him in the game. And it's stuff like that. Because a lot of people would say, well, the draft sucks. There's only defensive linemen. I think it's quarterback, halfback, defensive lineman, and left tackle. Those are the guys that get drafted in the first round. And maybe running back too, but basically I think it's those positions. No other positions that all go in the first round, which isn't the worst thing in the world to me, because if I'm going to be 100% honest, Madden's draft logic, Madden's free agency logic on the PS2s isn't great either. It's better than 2K's as far as drafting is concerned, but it still has its bugs. But to me, those things aren't big deals. But when I can't get a consistent read on how to set up the game as far as the slider set's concerned, that's when I get frustrated, because I want these games to be entertaining for y'all. And I want these games to be challenging for me. And we saw this drastic wave of not being able to stop certain running backs, which I get. But to the tune that we weren't able to stop him was kind of like, Like, we faced Jamal Lewis 1 week. He goes for like 250 on like 20 carries. And then we shut down Ricky Williams like just easily. And like the game wasn't close, because no matter what I do to the sliders, the quarterbacks on the other team usually are going to complete just 50% of their passes. They're probably going to have a quarterback rating in like the 20s or 30s, because they're probably going to throw a pick. With Sean Taylor in my secondary or not, they're probably going to throw a pick. They might not throw a touchdown pass. And I do think, again, that gameplay-wise, this is the best NFL game that we've ever had. But as far as franchise mode is concerned, I don't think it touches any of the Maddens on the PS2, and that's just my humble opinion. But like I mentioned, I do feel like this is the best gameplay on the PS2 that we've had. I think this and All Pro Football are the best two gameplays of football, I think, of all time. But franchise mode just is lacking, and I think it comes down to the fact that 2K5 was trying to be realistic, which I can appreciate, because I do think every sports game should try to blend realism with fun and trying to get to a perfect medium as closely as they can. That's hard to do, but I do enjoy that more. I want my skill to show through more than me being handcuffed. When I was younger doing franchise mode, typically I would do a season or two. I would take the worst team. Like back in the day, early PS2 days, it was the Chargers. The Chargers stunk. Like they stunk. And I always try to take the Chargers to the Super Bowl in year one. If not year two, give me an off season with them and go back for the ball. You know what I mean? And this is before I knew anything about sliders. This is before I knew anything, along those lines. I was just doing all Madden, and I'm just trying to kill the computer. And if I'm good enough to kill the computer, then I'm good enough to kill the computer. Don't handcuff me. 2K16 NBA comes to mind, where I believe that was the game where you couldn't hit like a 30-foot three with Steph at all. I believe it was 16, might have been 17, but you really couldn't. And it was like Steph was doing this all the time, but for whatever reason, he's nerfed in the game, and I just don't like that. And then utilizing slider set in this franchise and in my other franchises, I can't find that perfect blend of, okay, this running back is going to give us a hard time, to it's impossible to stop him, to now we can just stop him too easily. And it's just like, if I mess with one thing, it's just an issue. So I've tried, because this is our third franchise of 2K, and I've never really felt like it was exactly what I wanted it to be, which is okay, because again, playing against your friends in this game is absolutely phenomenal. But this franchise mode, I think, just isn't what I want it to be, and it's not going to be what I want it to be. So I think as of right now, we're going to take a step back. Maybe we will revisit it, but I feel like I've crossed every single bridge that I could for franchise mode, and it just isn't working the way that I want it to, which again is okay. So moving forward, we're going to be focusing on the Maddens on this channel. We're going to have rebuilds in the NBA on my first channel. We got the 2K10 franchise with the Blazers, and in that they have an option for it to be real players' field goal percentages, and I've turned that off, because if I can ball with Brandon Roy to the point where he's dropping 45 on Kobe and the Lakers, then let me do that. Don't handcuff me to who he is. Handcuff me to who I am with him. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of where I'm at with sports games, because there's always that debate, what's real, what's not real. And if we think about throughout history, like, is it realistic? Is it realistic to think that the Bulls were going to blow things up and try to get a young Tracy McGrady for Scottie Pippen and others? I mean, maybe it is. Some people would take that move. Some people wouldn't take that move. Who knows? Is it realistic for KG to go from Minnesota to the Celtics for what the Celtics gave up to get him? Probably not. Most people wouldn't do that deal. But when you have Kevin McHale as the GM of the Timberwolves at the time, and the relationships he has with KG, the relationship he has with the Celtics, it happens. So realism, nothing's real until it happens. You know what I'm saying? To an extent, obviously. Fake body parts are still fake body parts. It's reality that they're there, but you know what I mean. But anyways, that's going to do it, y'all. Let me know what team you want me to use. Let me know which Madden, which system, PS2 or 360. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry the Super Bowl got canceled. Peace, love. Hot sauce.